The Megahorn, Report 1. Siren heads, a race of malicious creatures whose origins are unknown. There isn't just one. They can be found all over the world, each sharing similar abilities to warp the minds of the victims. They do this with the sounds they produce from their siren-looking heads. Many people, once they hear these calls, are drawn deeper and deeper into the nesting layers of these creatures and are never heard from again. Those who survive tend to always be worse off for the encounter, suffering both physical, mental, and or spiritual energy. The really unlucky ones are infected and either fall into the creature's thrall or are mutated to a form not human. There are also several dangerous variations that all have unique abilities in addition to their mind-altering horns. Not only are their abilities different, often more powerful, but their behaviors are atypical. Most of these variants are just as malicious as their common versions. In some cases, such as the infamous multi-head siren head, even more so. It is only a theory where these variants come from, but it's of the belief that these variant siren heads emerge after certain factors, one being consuming a certain amount of people and the other is staying alive for a long period of time. It may be those factors combined with the environment that a siren head sets up to nest that factors into the resulting variant. Few are as intelligent as the ones behind the giant incident, where 4 variant siren heads were able to summon a massive giant that completely wiped out an average-sized town. After that, more resources were dedicated to tracking down the other variants on the siren heads, to keep track of where they're at and what they can do that other siren heads can. This is where the Megahorn came in, a recent discovery of what can occasionally happen when a siren head mutates. The cause of a Megahorn siren head is always the same. A starving, skittish siren head encounters another one and ends up consuming them. The cannibalistic action ends up causing the siren on the creature's head to massively grow, enough to drag the creature's posture from standing straight up to crouching over. To support the larger size of the body, multiple limbs grow and sprout from the Megahorn's body, giving it a spider-like appearance. With the growth of the siren, the Megahorn's range is exponentially wider than the average siren head. The sound it can make is also even stronger. Getting too close to a Megahorn's full blast can cause the heads of weaker creatures to, well, explode. Weaker creatures include humans as well. Megahorn is different from most siren heads as the creature is not a nester. Megahorn tends to roam around, probably due to its larger size increasing the food requirement. The creature is constantly hunting, constantly eating whatever thing it can grapple with its many limbs, often after disabling its prey by the use of its horn. The Megahorn siren head doesn't have a preferred target, as long as it's alive. It's food to the Megahorn. This includes men, women, animals, and even other siren heads. It seems that the Megahorn is particularly suited to eating other siren heads. Its horn is loud enough and powerful enough to even affect a siren head. And it being much larger and much stronger than the average siren head, Megahorn has been observed easily hunting them down and rapidly consuming the monsters. The eating of siren head is one of the biggest problems, because after eating one, the Megahorn will grow bigger, get smarter, and the range of its horn will once again increase even wider. Another possibility that the agency is trying to avoid is the Megahorn mutated further into another variant, something that can happen each time it happens to consume a siren head, or worse, a variant. One of them will be the magic number needed to trigger said evolution, which will only put more people in danger as its abilities grow more and more dangerous. Efforts have to be made to keep it from consuming siren heads, and as horrible as it sounds, it's almost preferred that it victimizes humans and animals over other siren heads. Not that the agency will allow it to feed on humans. The use of suggestive drugs and warding away curious campers will usually keep humans away from it. similar to using sniper tactics and the use of explosives to injure it, is also effective. Things that would work on basic siren heads will also apply to the Megahorn. Killing it, while difficult, is possible. Like most things in this world, if it can bleed, it can die. One of the issues is keeping the Megahorn in place long enough to do such injuries. One of the core attributes of a Megahorn is that the creature is an opportunistic hunter and a coward. What could threaten it will cause the Megahorn to retreat if it can't kill what is attacking it. For such a massive creature, the monster is surprisingly cautious about protecting its existence. Likely, the reason it wanders around and why it constantly attacks weaker or injured siren heads is to get bigger and bigger. The creature seems to be fleeing from something and doing everything it can to get as tough as possible. Potentially, one of the factors that helped mutate it into a Megahorn in the first place. One with a siren powerful enough to warn people away. The question that the agency has to answer is, what is the Megahorn constantly fleeing from? Something it encountered as a siren head drove it out of its nest and proceeded to perform a hazy act of cannibalism. All by instinct. Could there be yet another dangerous variant of the siren head that the agency doesn't know about? One potentially more dangerous than the multi-headed siren? A closer eye needs to be kept on the Megahorn. Tracking its location and the history of its places could potentially aid us in discovering the thing it was fleeing from in the first place. It would be easier if Megahorn could communicate, but like most siren heads, the creature is malicious. When it isn't fleeing from what it's threatened by, the creature will default to attacking prey. So far, Megahorn has been recently sighted in the northern regions of the Canadian tundras and is steadily making its way even further north. It may be trying to reach the Arctic for an unknown reason. Presume it's related to what it's actually fleeing from and stand by for more information.